So you want to own the 392. Couple things you gotta think about. But if you're watching this video right now, you've already got the bug. Stay tuned. Number 5. You really want to think about insurance premiums before you purchase a 392, whether that be a Hellcat, a Scat Pack, whatever the case may be. I've been with my insurance company for over 20 years and I got a multi-vehicle discount. However, my insurance premium jumped up a significant amount when I purchased my 2021 Scat Pack. Now also, what you want to think about is the insurance companies think that these cars are only going to be used for one thing, and that's ripping and running up and down the highway at accelerated speeds or put on the racetracks or something like that and just driven recklessly. So if you're in the market right now and you're thinking about it, always think about that insurance premium because it's going to hit you. My insurance went up probably $90 to $100. And like I said, I've been with my insurance company for over 20 years. I got multi-vehicle discount with them. I also got my house insured through them. So they didn't really cut me any slack. So it did go up, and that's something you should definitely think about. Number 4, the next thing you should think about is this car a daily driver for you. I have a daily driver, which is my 2005 Kia Spectra. I've had it since 2010. It gets me from A to B, and it does the job at the gas pump as well, especially with these accelerated gas prices now, or just in general, but it gets good gas mileage. I see a lot of videos and a lot of people say, I've even spoken to a lot of people that say they use their Scat Pack or their Hellcat or whatever as a daily driver. Kudos to them, but it's gonna put a hurting on you at the gas pump. So that's something that you gotta think about before you buy these vehicles. My daily driver, I drive probably 90% of the time. My Scat Pack is just for fun, to be honest with you. I get in it, rip and run. I've taken it down to North Carolina a couple times to see my son's basketball games. And let's be honest, it's a fun vehicle to drive, especially when you're trying to get in and out of traffic or get in and out of, you know, the car flow or whatever the case may be, and you want to open it up a little bit. It's nothing like it in driving this vehicle. So just something that you should keep in mind. If you're gonna drive it every day and maybe you possibly live at home and you got a job and it's the only thing you gotta do is kind of put gas in it, drive it, and just whatever the case may be, so be it. But I got a daily driver. I drive about 90% of the time. I take the Scat Pack out on weekends, or I drive to work every now and then. But as a daily driver, just understand that you're gonna be at the gas tank every week, probably every few days, depending on how far you got to go to and from work. And I keep it on eco, and that doesn't really help as far as the gas mileage goes. Probably on the highway, but not so much in the city. So another thing that you should think about. 3. I alluded to this on number 4 as far as just being a daily driver, but the next thing you should think about before you own a 392 is most definitely the gas. When I first got the vehicle, which was in June of 2001, it took me probably about $65 to fill it up. One thing that I will give you advice on, if you're gonna go ahead and get this vehicle anyway, is to have some type of a membership, either the Sam's Club, BJ's, Costco, Kroger, wherever. Even consider having a credit card with a gas company. That way they take like 10% or something, or 10 cents off of every gallon that you buy or something, or every dollar that you spend. Whatever the case is, I would just have some type of a alternate method to get gas, because as you see now, the gas prices are sky high. As of March 2022, gas prices sky high, $5 in some places. Being a member of Sam's Club definitely takes a little bit off of that when I'm going to fill the bad boy up. So gas is another thing that you should think about before owning a 392. The number 2 thing that you should think about before you purchase a 392 is where you want your payments to be. Now, this is gonna flow into reason number 1, and I'll tell you that in a minute. Now, where you want your payments to be is, that's gonna be subjected to you, whatever your income is. I got my Scat Pack, like I said, in June of 2021. I got it for $47. and then you extend it out, whatever the months they give you for whether or not the car is new or used, you can get up to 84 months as far as financing goes. You can finance whoever it is you finance through. But where do you want those payments to be? And another thing that you should really think about is where that salesman, he's gonna give you an approximation of where that payment is going to be. Now, what he is leaving buffer room for is when you get back there and you talk to the guy and you get ready to sign the paperwork, whether you're going to get stuff like gap insurance or any other type of insurance, and that's going to increase that payment per month. Like I said, mine's about 47K. I pay about $640 for it per month, and that was because I put a down payment down. But if you ask me, you really don't have to put a down payment down at all. It's just a matter of where you feel comfortable mentally at where those payments are going to be. So that's the number 2 reason on things you should think about before you get a 392. Another tidbit of information that I want to share with you guys is don't fall for the salesman trick. They want to put a pen in your hand, have you start circling stuff and signing stuff, sign for the keys for the test drive, see your driver's license and sign for that and all that. Don't fall for it. So one of the tricks the salesman tried to run on me was, previous day I went in there to check out the Scat Pack. My son was with me, he was acting up, I had to leave that day, come home, talk it over with the wife, we went back the next day. So as we're making a decision, the salesmen are going in and out, coming in and out. So they come in and one of them said, you might want to make a decision because we got another guy that's trying to buy this vehicle. Pump the brakes right there. Hey, if you want to go ahead and sell the vehicle to the other guy, go ahead and sell the vehicle. I'm not really worried about it. You're not going to press me into buying this vehicle just because you tell me somebody else is interested in it. So you just got to watch out for those tricks that the salesmen try to play. Now, the number 1 reason of things you should think about before you buy a 392 is whether or not you want it new or used. Now, we've already bled into just a tad bit on the number 2 reasoning, but some things you want to think about. Don't go to one of these rinky-dink dealerships. Go to a well-verified dealership and see if remaining of that warranty is going to be on that vehicle, new or used. I scoured the internet. I looked on all types of websites before I got my Scat Pack. What I found was that these cars really hold their value. If you dealt with cars, you know that as soon as you drive it off the lot, it depreciates. What I found with these Scat Packs and Hellcats is the value is only going up right now. So the cars are holding their value because, one, it's the last year that they're gonna produce the engine. They're gonna go to electric engine. 2, they're it right now. The car is really hot right now as far as just owning it, as far as having it, modifications. There's a lot that this vehicle lends itself to as far as modifications. So even though there are a lot of Chargers and Challengers, Scat Packs and Hellcats and GTs and RTs and so on and so forth, you can really do some things to this vehicle to make it stand out, to make it look different, to make it be your vehicle. You always want to look at the dealership. You always want to look at the warranty. Some dealerships, or the majority of dealerships you get the car from, if it's a main verified dealership, they're going to also give you a free oil change, free yearly inspection, and so on and so forth. Probably seen a lot of videos doing burnouts and doing line lock. I don't particularly do that with my vehicle. However, some YouTube gonna be putting out content, they're gonna do that to their vehicles and race it and be really hard on their vehicles, which is another reason why I want to get it new. The used vehicles were holding their value. I've seen some Scat Packs as far as 2018, 2019, they were still in the mid 40s. So you're talking 45, 46,000 for a vehicle with 30 or 40,000 miles on it. I really didn't want that. So at the end of the day, when I thought about it, I said, why not get a new vehicle, a new Scat Pack with no miles on it? And mine literally had 3 miles on it when I saw it and took it for a test drive. Why not just get it brand new and pay the extra $1,000 just to have a brand new vehicle? Now, like I said before, previously, I put $1,500 down on mine, but in hindsight, I really didn't have to put anything down on it, because my credit was good. You're gonna take that money anyway and you're gonna be doing modifications to it. So why not just take the money you're gonna use as a down payment and put it into the vehicle? As far as the mods go, why give it to the dealership just to lower your payment and buy 10, 15 bucks, something like that. I'll always opt with new. With used, you got to think about how far that vehicle is toward warranty being out of it. And if something were to happen to that vehicle, the previous owner of the vehicle drove it hard or did things like that to the tires, and you're going to have to get new tires and all that, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the number one thing that you got to think about whenever you buy a 392. All right, YouTube, Novice Line here. Y'all just saw the video of the top 5 things to think about before buying a 392. I'm just gonna give you some bonus advice. Don't initiate buying one of these vehicles unless you're really sure that you want this vehicle. Whenever you go into these dealerships, they're gonna try to sweet talk you and get you to sign on the dotted line. When they check your credit, it's gonna come up as a hard hit. If you're in the process of buying a home, this could screw you over. Don't try and buy a vehicle, because that's gonna screw everything up, and you're gonna have to redo all of the paperwork, and you're gonna have to go off of your new adjusted credit scores, because now you have a hard hit because you went to a dealership and gave them permission to check your credit. You can look online and you can see the value of these vehicles, and you can guesstimate about how much you're gonna pay per month. Don't go and get it in stone in writing unless you want that vehicle for sure, because all you're doing is giving the dealership permission to check your credit. It's gonna come up as a hard hit. It's gonna screw over the process. And if you're in the middle of buying a home or something like that, you're gonna have to start all that paperwork all over again. So that's my bonus advice to you. Novice Line out.